review district as being available, but this is 1.1 acres, and you have to have 2 acres to be available. I think if we turn it down, it will be a year before the developer can come back to try and rezone. If the developer were here and wanted to withdraw, I would be happy to do that. As a compromise, I would be willing to send this back to the Planning Commission for reconsideration based on additional information. So those are the 3 alternatives that I was looking at. But I basically come back to the zoning ordinance, and under the zoning ordinance, the GR2 is permitted as a use with conditions in the commercial district. So I feel like he's got that already. I could vote to approve.
Is there another option that could be considered, is that the council vote to table this until next month and give the property owner the opportunity to withdraw his application, and then he would not be fall into that timeline penalty?
I could look at that if anybody's.
You could, but then you'd be in the same position you're in. You'd have to take
It's going to
it
be
back to
3
planning
months.
commission,
Yeah.
And their only alternative is to give him GR2. He can't do FRD.
Well, if we don't take any action, then he could withdraw his application. He would still, I mean, there's just been so much discussion about GR2 here with some other council members, and when I had a meeting with our planner and the interim city administrator about looking, that don't like the number of houses that you can put on GR2. And this has been mentioned before, that if this gentleman has GR2 and then decides he does not want to build on that, and let's, for the sake of discussion, he said he's only going to build 4 homes or 4 townhomes, which would not have a terrible effect on the residential areas. But if he was to sell that piece of property, then the new developer could come in and still go with the GR2. And there have been discussion about modifying GR2 and reducing the number of units that could be built on there. So one other thought is tabling this for the property owner and let him withdraw his application.
Then you would, general commercial, you would give him the opportunity to change his mind instead of building it to go general commercial. Then you could put a front-end line or shop or garage or
Absolutely.
whatever, a swimming pool company or whatever. Then it'd be sticking right there in the middle of that neighborhood. And if being another business coming out Valentine Street right there at that intersection of, we're doing one way, it would make it even heavier. And I don't know how many homes you could put on 1.1 acres. I don't think you could put, how many homes could,
Well, I'd hate to give a number. You are allowed up to 14. I can't foresee 14 being apartments now, not home, apartments. But I can't foresee 14 fitting on there by the time you do your infrastructure and all that.
the roads, the setbacks,
But again, you got the same problem that if one of them houses, for God's sake, should burn down and somebody buys it, it's already zoned GR2. That whole neighborhood, that
Yep.
whole subdivision is GR2. So if you have somebody that has a misfortune, they don't even have to come before the planning commission or the council. You got the same thing on a lot in the middle of there. So it's a bad situation. It's been a bad situation with that general commercial being right there in the middle of that like that. That should have never happened. Again, when they split that, when the bank bought it, at that time the city wasn't sealing the properties that was being split. We didn't even know nothing about it. They took it up there to be split, and that's the way it was recorded. And along with that come the zoning. So it is.
well, I feel like with the general commercial, that would not be trying to help the situation that we're in now. If we go ahead and change it, it could stop that situation from further future problems.
It certainly would stop the commercial aspect of it.
It is downgrading in its intensity. And that's the beauty of going to the GR2, would be downgrading from commercial to residential.
But he come in asking for GR2 again,
Right.
correct?
That is correct, that's what he asked for.
And
Yes.
the area is already zoned that the GR2.
Two sides where he backs up and to the left is, I think across the street might be either 7.5 or R10, I won't swear which one that is, and then you got the bank on the other side. So the GR2 would be a transition between this.
Well, my opinion, I feel that we shouldn't hold him up and hold him from not having this.
I am reluctant to do that as well.
If it's
Yes,
already,
ma'am.
if he came in with the set of say, and that's what he wanted it zoned, and that's what everything else around it is already that way.
He's matching the existing zoning on two sides.
Yes.
Keep it a neighborhood instead of a commercial land neighborhood.
That's right.
I make a motion for him to have the privilege
To approve it.
to zone it to the ZR2.
So the way I see it, if we vote in favor of this, we'll be voting for what he wants. If we vote negative, no, then we will be failing, correct? Is that right?
Yes, sir. I think
The way it's written here.
on Ms. Brazil's motion, essentially it's a call for the
Yeah,
question.
it's, yeah, okay.
Call for question.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, all in favor of this ordinance, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Item 10 is new resolutions, which only need one vote. Item A is resolution number 2022-12 to authorize the city of Easley to leave the South Carolina insurance program and enter into a contract with McGriff Insurance Services. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mayor, we've got before the mayor and council, as you said, a resolution. We're wanting to change, the city is proposing, the staff is proposing to change from our PIBA insurance into a private insurance to enter into a contract with McGriff Insurance Services. We have representatives from McGriff with us tonight. We've talked about it at the work session. We feel that insurance is about equal to what we have now. As you do with any insurance, you lose on some and gain on others, and vice versa. The finance part of it, we feel is pretty equal, but the biggest benefit is the services that they provide in helping the employees, helping the staff administer this insurance. We've had a lot of trouble with PIBA on the administration of the insurance, and employees has trouble trying to contact people. The good thing about this is we've got a very hands-on company that will be willing to work with us and help our employees. And I think that's one of the main things. But we do have them here tonight for any questions that you might have for them.
Any questions?
Mayor Womack, I had a lot of questions about this proposal during the work session, and I am assured by administration and insurance agent that this will be beneficial or at least neutral in cost and benefits to city employees.
Yes, sir.
And with that, I think we're taking a fairly major step, on short notice, but relying on these assurances from administration and agent, I'm willing to vote for it.
And I will say, these same agents assisted us for years prior to our leaving them, so we've used them before. They have a track record.
And a question that I have is for anybody that has had to switch doctors or find new doctors, that is a very challenging situation in and of itself. So is this agency going to be able, for doctors that don't fall into this network, are they going to be able to assist employees in finding new doctors? Because
I don't want to answer for them, but I think it's my understanding that no matter what doctor we have, that the insurance will pay for it. There's two different policies each employee can look at, whether it's a Prisma doctor or another one, but the doctor being covered by insurance is not a question from my understanding.
There's no holes in the network.
Thank you.
There's no big holes in your
Thank
network. We're all for that network.
Okay, so there wouldn't be any premium changes to the employee because their doctor is not in that particular plan that they choose?
Correct, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions?
Call for question.
Have a call for the question. All in favor of this resolution, please raise your right hand. Item B, resolution number 2022-13, provided for the adoption of city Easley personnel policy to be corrected and do away with all of the other related policies. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
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 Mayor Womack, I would like to have more time to review this lengthy personnel policy manual and compare the proposal with the existing personnel policy. And therefore, I would move that this matter be tabled until the next meeting.
Okay. Do we have to vote? or-
Second that.
I would vote on it.
Okay, so we have a motion on the floor and we have a second. Any other discussion?
We're not told in our workshop, we will get a copy of what's been deleted.
It has been sent to you, I did that before you came down.
Very nice. Call the question?
Call for the question. As we vote on this, this will be, if we vote in favor, this will be tabled for 30 days prior to, and then bring it back up next month. So, all in favor of the tabling, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Okay. Resolution number 2022-14, approving the appointment of a city clerk for the city of Easley. Do I hear a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mayor, we are in the process of doing some rearranging at City Hall. Lisa's retiring, leaving us, and this is for the appointment of a new city clerk of Jennifer Bradley. She will be resuming them roles after December 2nd. And along with that, for information, we have hired a new finance manager to take her place where she's leaving from. So we're getting everything lined up, sir.
Anyone have any questions?
I have a comment. I would like to thank Lisa. My time with her has been very brief, and I wish her the very best in her retirement. I think that maybe she might be sneaking back in here for, not for observation purposes, maybe training, but I want to thank Lisa. She's been very helpful to me. Thank you.
Denise, thank you. I was going to do the same thing. I'm remiss in not mentioning this at the beginning of the meeting. Lisa, we're going to miss you. Worked with you a long time, and I appreciate all your help along the way and for our entire city. So, thank you.
I got to follow up on that. Lisa's not only good at her job, she's a friend. She can read your mind somehow or other. You say, and it's already there. She's got it laying there. You start to sit down at your desk, your stuff's laying there. She's on top of her game. She's really good. Lisa, we're gonna miss you. Hope you enjoy the retired life with them grandbabies, but I think you're gonna not find it retired.
Well,
I think
I'd
she already
like-
knows that.
I'd like to add to that, and all the help you've given me, I have appreciated so much. You've kept us on the right track. Thank you. You have done a lovely job.
Thank you, Lisa. Appreciate it.
So we won't get too sidetracked. I'll call the question.
Okay.
Darn.
All in favor of this resolution, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Ayes have it. Item D, resolution number 2022-15 to award a request proposal to Archer Company to provide the city a class and comp study. Do I hear a motion? Make a motion, second?
Second.
Second, okay.
So, Mr. Mayor, we went out with bids, after the July 1 budget began, with the understanding that we'd, try to get a company to come in and do a class and comp for our employees to see where we stood with that. And I think, $15,000 is what was put down for the study. We've had 6 bids come in. They range from $15,000 to $84,000. This one here is $350 over what the $15,000 is. We felt like we'd rather stay in-state. Archer Company is located inside South Carolina versus the one that was $350 less is located in Florida. We just felt like it'd be better just to stay inside, and we've contacted several other municipalities that had dealt with the Archer Company, and they seem to be very satisfied with them. So this is our staff recommendation to move forward with the Archer Company. If approved tonight, I will contact them tomorrow, and we'll get the ball rolling, get a contract drawn up. They said it'd take between 4 and 5 months to do it, and that way we should at least have it done before next budget.
Okay.
Call for the question.
Call for the question. All in favor of this resolution, raise your right hand. Any opposed? Okay. Item 11, approval of the ATAX committee recommendation.
Yes, sir. I'm sorry, Mr. Yeah, there's no resolution or no ordinance. The ATAX committee met on September 28th, 22, and approved the following. If you remember, during the budget time, we estimated that there'd be about $75,000 worth of accommodation tax come in from the state, based on our 4 hotels inside the city. We do this by percentage because we're not absolutely sure what the amount will be coming in. You can't never tell. So we had 5 requests. Out of the 5 requests, we approved 4 of them. 1 of them did not qualify after reviewing it. They were still very early in the stages, and there was no, the property wasn't even purchased for what they was wanting to do. So what we've requested is that the Chamber of Commerce, to start with, they get so much money up from there, from the accommodations, then they get 30%. Foothills Playhouse gets 30%, Senior League Baseball gets 20%, and Farmers Market gets 20%. These are the 4 that applied for it, and that is the committee's recommendation.
Any questions about that?
I have a question. I was looking on South Carolina Code of Laws, and it reads that the advisory committee shall submit written recommendations to the municipality, and I guess that may be what this is, and so the municipality would be the city. Is there published anywhere who is on this committee, their reports, their recommendations? How do businesses in the city know that these funds are available? Are applications posted on Facebook or the website? How do our businesses in the city of Easley know to put in and what the requirements are to apply for these loans?
We'll start with
For this money?
businesses do not apply. It's not for the businesses. This is for tourist attraction. That's what the accommodation tax is for tourism. Our biggest.
Those are the only 4 that well, you said there was a 5th one, but so any tourist agency.
That's correct.
They could, but is this posted?
It was posted on our website along with the application. That's correct.
It is?
It was, yes.
It was?
It's only one time a year, yes.
Okay.
Yes. As far as the meeting this is their proposal that I'm presenting to you tonight.
So is that a public meeting? Should it, I mean, I wasn't aware of it. but
It's
people
not
are-
advertised, no, ma'am.
It's not advertised?
No, ma'am. Other than to the ones that submitted the application.
No, but the ATAX committee is not, I mean, or is that a group of citizens?
That is correct.
Okay. And do they represent a different tourist?
There is a procedure that the state calls out for on who to
Yes.
do. The only one we fell short on was motel representative. The one that we had on there had resigned. We didn't know it, and that motel opted not to participate.
Okay.
So there is a procedure that the city follows.
And did we receive an end of the year report detailing, how this money was spent?
We did on the chamber, that's correct, our largest contributor.
Okay, are the other entities not, required to
Not
do
according
so?
to the state paper that we fill out. We just got done with it last week, yeah.
List of advisory, in the same law, list of advisory committee members, and they're not posted anywhere. I'd like to have the names of who's on the committee, please. If you could email that to me, thank you. It's been submitted, that request has been submitted before.
Okay, any other questions?
Call question.
We don't have to vote on this, yeah, we don't have to. I just need a motion to adjourn.
Wrong.
Motion to adjourn. They don't have to vote on it, we've already got the budget. I don't think so, Tommy, didn't you say you didn't have to?
That's my understanding of it, is just to present it to the council.
We done?
Motion to adjourn.